you first up. I've talked your Learn Smarts, your homeworks, your labs have all been extended until January 10th. So if you have anything that hasn't been done, get back and get it done. If you have anything else that needs to get done, get it in. If you want to redo a lab, get it fixed, turn it in. Okay, everything needs to be electronic though, so you need to get it in. You can use my iPads here, use Office Lens to take pictures, and then save it as a PDF to phone storage and then upload it. Okay, if you need help doing that, I can help you. Now, in front of you, you've got a lab that I have found that if kids do this lab, they become very, very proficient in net ionic, ionic, being able to pull out precipitates, be able to determine spectator ions. So I'm going to do a few of them with you. We are going to actually do this lab next time. It takes like 5 minutes because you just go drop, 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 and then go down, and it works, and you can see if you predicted right. This is where we're using NAGSAG. I have put those solubility rules right here for you on the thing so you can remember what they are. So, going with the first one, sodium carbonate plus silver 1 nitrate. Okay, you are making the formula for this now. So what you should do is right above this, write the ions. So sodium is what? Na plus, right? Carbonate is CO3 2 minus. What's silver? Ag plus. What's nitrate? NO3 minus. If you don't know those, you need to have your periodic table out so you can go through them fast. So the first part, the only part I'm given is the reactants. I need to make the whole equation, or the molecular equation. So she's going to be using those words. The molecular equation is a regular equation that you balanced. So that's what you want to do first. So sodium, we need 2 sodiums to go with a carbonate to balance that out. Since we're mixing them, they're going to be aqueous. So anything on my reactant sign is AQ, a cute little ion. Okay, plus silver nitrate, plus 1 minus 1, smash them together. So you're writing this with me, right? AgNO3, and it's AQ. Okay? Now, this is where it gets the tricky. This is where we use OI, outside insides. So my outside, sodium and nitrate, are going to go together on the other side. So sodium's a plus 1, nitrate's a minus 1, so I just smash them together, NaNO3. Then I'm going to do the next one, which is silver, the insides. I always start with a positive and go to the negative. Silver carbonate. Silver, we're going to need 2 of to balance the carbonate. Okay, I don't care what was on the other side. I'm just balancing each compound. Now at this point, once I've written the molecular equation, this is where I balance it. This is where you put your little paper up if you need to. If you don't need to, because this is a simple one, let's just balance it. So what do I need to do to fix this so it's balanced from side to side? 2Na what? Where? NaNO3, so put a 2 here. Okay, anything else? Okay, anything else? Are they balanced? At that point, it is balanced. Now, I haven't put the state on NaNO3 and AgCO3. So now this is where I look at my NAGSAC. What is in there? Well, the first one, N, is nitrates. So nitrates are soluble. So I can put here AQ. If it's soluble, it's AQ, so dissolved in water, okay? Aqua. The next one has silver and carbonate. Well, let's go through it. Nag, nitrates. A is ammonium or acetates. G is group 1 metals. Well, none of those account. Okay, SAG. Sulfates, ammonia or acetate. I can't remember which one's which. And then group 17 metals. Well, none of silver and carbonate aren't in those at all. So this one is going to be a solid. So we're going to put an S next to it. Now, this next part, it says to identify the precipitate. So on number 2, I'm just going to write Ag2CO3. That is my precipitate. So go ahead on number 2 and write AgCO3. Then the next one, I'm supposed to identify the spectator ions. Ag2CO3. Okay, so what we learned last time is The college likes you to write a total ionic. I want you to know how to do it. I'm also going to show you the shortcuts. So this is not, there's not a place for this on your paper, but if you want to write where you can, like on the back or something, so you can see what we're doing. This will split into its ions. So it will become 2Na plus AQ plus CO3, 2 minus AQ plus, this will split, 2Ag plus AQ plus 2NO3 minus AQ yields, this will split because it's AQ, 2Na plus AQ plus 2NO3 minus AQ plus Ag 2CO3 as a solid. That will not split. Okay, now, once you split everything that's AQ, in order to be able to find the spectators, it's just like math. What's the same on both sides that I can cancel out? So what's the same on both sides, Alex, that you can cancel out? Exactly the same. Good. 2Na plus. That's the same on both sides. Kaylee, what's the same on both sides? There's one more. Good. The 2NO3 minus is the same on both sides. So these right here that I've labeled or circled, these are my spectator ions. In math, we'd cross them out. Here, we're going to cross them out. Whatever's left over is the net ionic. Okay? Now, here's the trick for the net ionic. So I don't have to write all that. Okay? I just look and say, oh, AgCO3 is my solid, right? So I know I'm going to end up with Ag2S, oh, sorry, CO3. Whoops, okay. Ag2CO3 as a solid. And then I just use my math or my ability to make that compound and say, oh, what did I need to make it? Oh, I needed 2 silver ions with a +1 charge. They'll have to be aqueous. Plus I need 1 carbonate ion with a 2- charge to make it. That's the net ionic equation. That's basically what we had here, right? But I just looked at what I had. Now, how would I determine what my spectator ions are without having to write the whole net ionic equation? Well, this was my solid, so what didn't make up my solid? These two, right? But I have to split them into ions, so I have to say, oh, this ion and this ion. Now, I don't have to have the 2's in front of it. I just have to say Na plus, AQ is my spectator, and NO3 minus is a spectator. They're just going to be wandering around in solution, not doing much. Okay? That's an S. My pen doesn't write in that corner very well, and I don't know why. Okay, so let's do another one. Turn the page. Half a second. That's supposed to be an S. Solid. Okay. S, like a snake. Okay, I'm going to do the next page at the top. We're just going to do the tops really fast, and then I'm going to bring you up and show you your grades. Okay, come in the next one. Okay, top of the next one, we've got sodium sulfate. Plus silver 1 nitrate. So I'm going to leave you 2 on each column to do. Okay? So same thing. What's sodium's ion? Na plus. S is sulfur. Okay? Sulfate. What's sulfate? SO4 2 minus. Good. Silver. We did this, just this one. Ag plus, right? Nitrate. We just did that. NO3 minus. So we've got all the ions that we're going to use. This is how I do it when it's me. So right above where it is, I write them, because then I can just rearrange them. Okay, so sodium, we're going to need 2 sodiums to go with the sulfate, so Na2SO4. And that's going to be aqueous. Plus, silver goes together with nitrate with just 1, AgNO3, and it's aqueous. Now I'm going to switch partners. Sodium is going to go with nitrate. Oh, we've seen this one before. NaNO3. That was aqueous, right, in our last one, so it's going to still be aqueous here. Then I'm going to put silver with sulfate. Okay, Ag2SO4. I got to go back to my rules and figure this one out. Okay, so there's nothing in Nag that has to do with sulfate, but Sag has sulfate. Sulfates are always soluble. But remember, it had 2 asterisks by it. So if I remember, oh, PMS, lead, mercury, and silver, that doesn't have anything to do with it. Castrobare. Well, wait a minute. PMS, lead, silver, mercury. Yes, silver does have something to do with it. So silver sulfate is not soluble. So I put an S. Okay, without having to do the total ionic, but you'll need to be able to do that for the test. Okay, without having to do the total ionic, what are the spectator ions? Na with a plus and NO3 minus, and they're both AQ. Because this was my solid, right? So anything that didn't make my solid up is my spectator. Well, the only thing that didn't on the product side is sodium and nitrate. NAGSAG. So SAG is sulfate, right? S on the sulfates, and it's right in the front, if you've forgotten it, or down here. So in the front here, sulfates, and it has an asterisk and a number sign by it. Well, the asterisk goes down to PMS, and S is silver. So this is the exception. Silver sulfate is not soluble. Okay? All right, so is this equation balanced? What do I need to do to balance it? 2 in front of the AgNO3? And 2 in front of the NaOH and the NO3?
And is that on the box number 1?
That's box number 1. Box number 2 is just the Ag2SO4. Box number 3 is Na plus AQ and the NO3 minus AQ. Now, what was the shortcut for doing the net ionic? Find the solid, point to it in a solution, right, or in an equation, and what ions made it up. So, Alex, what ions made it up? What ions are in here from up there?
Oh, that.
Which is?
Silver.
Silver. So we had how many silvers? How many do we need to make that? 2. Plus what else? Sulfate. SO4. 2 minus, and there was just one of those, right? That's my net ionic equation for the end. So I didn't have to separate them all out. I can do it really fast. But if they make you do a net ionic equation, you have to separate everything that's AQ. Don't separate anything that is solid, liquid, or gas. Okay, just AQ. All right, let's go to the next one on top. Box 2 was your solid, Ag2SO4. Yes? So liquids, remember, we were given, or they would be given to you as a liquid. If it's a bronchial, any of those, we don't separate those. They stay together. So PS4 and S8 are also, we stay together. We don't separate them.
Okay, so this one had, say, like, if they have one of the particles, they would be.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to actually flip to the next page, and I'm going to do the top of the next 2, the 2 on the next 2, and that's it. And go. NAG, SAGs are soluble, except for the exception, PMS and Castrobare. So I am doing right now, soluble means AQ. So sodium chloride plus lead to nitrate. Okay, first step, what was it? List out the ions. Sodium is Na with a plus. Chloride is Cl with minus. Lead, 2 is 2 plus. Nitrate is. Okay, that's the first thing I do. Then I can go back and I can start writing the equation in number 1. Na and Cl. Pretty easy. Plus. Pb is a plus 2, nitrate's a minus 3, or minus 1, so I need 2 nitrates. And it's a group, so I put it in parentheses. Okay, both of these are AQ. because I had them in solution. Now we're going to do the OI, outside inside, sodium with nitrate. We've done that before, NaNO3, right? And we knew that that was aqueous. So a lot of these are just going to be looking up one. The other one, lead 2 with chlorine. Cl2, good. AQ. So you should be writing that down in number 1. Okay, what's my solid? Well, okay, whoops, I did put AQ. I shouldn't have put AQ because we don't know that yet. Let's go back to the rules. Right. So, nag, sag. Nitrates, ammonium, or acetate, group 1, no. Sag, sulfates, ammonia, or acetate. I can't remember which one goes where place, but I know both of them. And then group 17. Wait a minute. Group 17 has chlorines in it, right? Okay. Is there an exception next to it? Oh, what's the exception? PMS, which has lead. Okay, so this is a solid. So we're going to put solid here. Okay, so is it balanced? No, what do I need to do? These should be simple, easy, one, quick. Good. Now, if it's not quick and easy for you to balance, it's okay to take that paper and put it up next to it and go one side to one side. It's okay. All right. So, what are my spectators? Na plus AQ and Cl minus, oh, it's not Cl, NO3 minus AQ, right? Because this is not used in my solid. Okay, so now we're going to do the net ionic equation. Point to your solid, PbCl2, as a solid. Okay, what ions made that up? Pb2 plus, which would be aqueous, and 2 Cl minuses, right? AQ. Okay, that's 4. 3 was Na plus and NO3 minus, and 2 was the solid, PbCl2. So, okay, got one more to do with you on the top. Sodium hydroxide plus lead, sodium hydroxide plus calcium chloride. Okay, the next one on the top right there. M, okay to move forward? I know I'm pushing you, I'm sorry. We played for a minute, now we got to play it pay. Okay, going forward. All right, so this one we have sodium hydroxide plus calcium chloride. Okay, first step, ions, what are they? Na plus. OH minus. That's what's on the back of your thing. That's how they make hydroxide. I don't know why oxygen's first. It should always be the positive, but it's not there. Okay, what else? Ca plus 2, chloride. Cl minus. So some of you are memorizing them already. That's good. Okay, so plus 1 minus 1, smash it together. NaOH plus, and by the way, that's AQ. Calcium chloride. CaCl2, and it is also aqueous. Arrow. OI, outsides. What did I make? Oh, NaCl, soluble or insoluble, you think? So we put an AQ, right? Because it will dissolve in water. Just got to think, okay, will it dissolve in water or not? Don't really say soluble, because that gets kids mixed up. Okay, calcium and hydroxide. Right, put the OH in parentheses because it's a group. Now we got to look at that. Okay, NAG, nitrates, acetates, group 17, or group 1, no. SAG, sulfates, ammonia, and group 17, and that's a no. So that one has to be a solid. Okay, so that's my solid I put in number 2. Na is part of group 1 metals. And chlorine's also on there too as group 17 metals. So both of them are soluble. Okay, so next one. So number 2 is calcium hydroxide. That's my solid. What is my spectators? Yes?
How's the CaOH2 solid?
Because it's not in my solubility rules. If it's not in there, it's a solid.
Okay, so
Right, and the solids are the exceptions are solids. Okay, so what are my spectators on this one?
Na plus,
Na plus, AQ, and Cl minus. This is number 3.
So isn't it just like literally the solid?
Well, it depends on which one you write. It might be the first one, might be the last one. It's just not the solid.
On the product.
Right, it's just what's not the solid. What ions did not make up the solid. Okay, so net ionic equation. How do we make it?
equals to CaOH.
Okay, put the product down here. CaOH2, and that's a solid. Ca2 plus 2OH minus AQ, and we've got our net ionic. Done. Okay, so I shortcutted it. You should be able to make a net ionic equation by just going like this. Oh, we didn't balance it. What do we need to balance it?
You need a OH.
So I need 2 here. Good. Okay, so just remember, if I'm going to split it out to a total net ionic, it would be 2 Na plus, and we do the AQ, 2 OH minus, AQ, and then we just keep going like that. Everything that was AQ splits, but this does not. Okay? So if they ask you for a total ionic equation, okay, because that's one of the things they're going to ask you on the test. What is a total ionic equation of this? Anything that's AQ, you split back into its ions. Make sure it's balanced first. Right. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop the video right now. I've got 5 minutes. I'm going to pull you up to give you grades real fast and let you know what's going on.